Hello, welcome to Bot and Back, and today we're doing another transformation tutorial of a Craftsman toy figure. This time it is Burst Gallop, Afterburner in the G1 vernacular, a Technobot, and I have been really happy with this line of toys. As I had said before, I had gotten Nose Cone, who I have here in his leg mode. I got him about 8 months ago from this company, and I was super happy with him. So I'm happy with this guy. There's a few things I am a little frustrated about, but overall I'm really pleased. As we go through the transformation tutorial, I will kind of talk about the things that are a little frustrating. I'll just say right now the main problems are just he has got some tight joints that make me super nervous, and I keep getting scared something's going to snap off or break. So I have ordered some shock oil because a lot of people, specifically on the TFW 2005 forums, have suggested that for tight joints. And so I ordered some. So I'm going to try to fix them up soon once that arrives. But anyway, without further ado, let's start with the transformation. Let's get the box out of the way. Also, real quick, let's look at his accessories he comes with. He has his pistol here. And he has these two weapons, and you can, I like to put them on his shoulders like that. I think that looks really cool, but I like those. You can also pull out some handles here so you can hold them. You can actually hold them on top and bottom. I think that looks cool. Let's just do that real quick too, because I think it looks neat. I think it's worth sharing. Some of these are a little bit easier to pop out than others, unfortunately. I know, this is fascinating. There we go, toothpick to the rescue. So you can actually put this underneath his fist here, if I can get it to go in. I think you can. Let's see. Oh, it's because I have it too far in from the top. So let's pull this out about halfway. Now this will probably go in about halfway. There we go. So I think that looks really cool. That's neat. And let's also bring in the original G1. This is my knockoff one. I sold my original, sadly, because I'm an idiot and sold almost my entire collection years ago. But I got this guy and the rest of the Technobots, and they're really cool. And they really caught the feel of the original team, I think, very well. Anyway, all right, on with the show. We'll take his weapons off. They'll come in later. And so first thing that we want to do is we want to flip this down and fold his fist in all the way, so that is popping out. Cover it. Same thing for this side. There we go. And there he is. Now let's turn him around and let's open that window, bring this up and close it. Then we try to reach under here. It's going to be a pain editing out all my coughs. I probably won't even do it, but I am so sorry. Once again, allergies, I hope. So we lift that window up, fold this down. Now let's take these wheels on both sides and fold these out, and this is one of those tight joints, is this. And also these don't turn by themselves. They have to go together. They're one piece, apparently. So wow, that went, I think that he's getting looser as I transform him, because I've transformed him quite a few times. So these go through there. This went back. Now once you bring this down, you want to reach in and you want to flip these two panels up, like so. Now, I forgot to do this in the video originally. So as you're doing the rest of the transformation, you'll notice these are down. They shouldn't be, they should be up. And now, I'm not even sure why it went back. Oh, it went back probably to make room for this, but so let's bring this up, and there's some slots Now there's two different slots. You want the bottom ones, there, and they go into those tabs there. Let's move the arms up a little bit. So this goes, oh, okay, you know what, we want to move this back a little bit, because apparently the backpack's connected to that. So anyway, bring this up and want to tab in there, so it looks like that. Now, let's move this forward. Yeah, now it's tight. And move those wheels forward. So just like that for now. We'll have to move it some more later, but that's a good spot to put it. Now we're going to work on the legs. So turn them around. We're going to untab these and then bring them up, and they will tab in. There's a tab there and a slot. Wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's just so far down. Tab there, slot up here. And that tabs in like that. And same for the other side. Untab it. And then bring it up. And tab it. Tab it in like that. And now, I want to reach here where you see this hinge. And we want to pull his shin up. Like so. Actually, I did that wrong. It'll be much easier if you actually take his foot and go like that, but I still got that to come out. So let's do it correctly on this side. You want to first take his foot and move it out, and then lift this up. Seems to work. It seems to work anyway, either way. So once you lift these up, take this blue plastic, bring it out, and fold it over. Same thing with this one. Bring it out and fold it over like that. And now this is one of the two scariest parts of his transformation. Fold this back in, and now we want to fold this down, and then we're going to push everything up, and then that pushes in as well. But we need to push everything, rotate everything in. You hear that squeaking? It's really tight, and I keep worrying it's going to snap here. So far, so good. And then this part's going to poke out. You want to push that down. So it should look like that on the end. And now you just simply bring this down again. Tab that in. Well, it doesn't really tab in. It just goes into there. So let's do that for the other side. The scary part. Bring this down. And we're going to push this down and through. And then this part's going to poke up. And then we push that. We just push that down. I'm not sure if I have it right. But that looks right, I guess. Bring that down. Okay. One of the hardest parts done. I will tell you, the instructions are not very helpful with these. I don't remember them being good for nose cone either when I got them. But anyway. So the next thing that we want to do is let's put his legs together. Little tab on the end there. Tab them together. And then now his legs are kind of they're on a bit of a double hinge. So there, you want to do that if you can see what I just did there. And then you want to lift this up. This here should tab into that, but it just doesn't seem to. But I don't know, it looks a little bit better here. You basically want this part to kind of seamlessly like be straight across the top, so that you can bring this window in, and that will tab in and keep them connected. Another warning, when you do that, just barely push it hard enough to tab it in so that it'll stay. Don't push it tight, because I have found it's very hard to get this to untab again. I thought it was going to be stuck the first time I transformed it. Now, it also just might be that I've done it a few times and it's loosened up a bit. But I'll show you a way to deal with that if yours is too tight when we go to transform him into his arm mode. So now for the last bit, we want to bring this back. These come untabbed kind of easily. Bring this back as far as you can, and bring the wheels back as far as you can. Now we're going to bring the arm, straighten the arms out. We're going to bring them up, and this is going to come down. Now here's the thing that I didn't realize when I first transformed it. If you look right there at the end of his arm, there's kind of a shape there. And if you look at the inside of this, it has the same shape. So this is like a tab, this is like a slot, but a very specific shape. This, when you bring the arm up like this goes over it, and then you kind of push in, so that tab slots into this here, and it's a very specific shape, so it will actually stay there. And I didn't realize it at first. I thought this just pushed down and just loosely sat there, but this is pretty stable when you do it right. So let's do it again here. Straighten this out. And that's why you want to make sure that the fist is all the way in when you push it into his forearm, so that is sticking out correctly. So let's push this back and do the same thing. Bring this forward a little bit and over and push it in and tab it. And there we go. We have got his motorcycle, futuristic motorcycle mode. Now I've been seeing people that a lot of people are not happy with this vehicle mode. Some people think the wheel is too small, and a lot of people don't seem to like the training wheels in the back. Probably mostly because this guy, the original, he just has 2 wheels. Wow, he's so easy to it's so funny transforming these older figures. You just forget how easy it was, and it just seemed so cool back in the old days. What was my point? Oh, he only has the 1 wheel in front and back, so I think that might be kind of what bothers people about it. So there's the G1 version. It was funny. I went to put his weapon in, and I accidentally grabbed the new guy's weapon, and that's how I feel like they did a really good job of giving the same feel. Like, okay, maybe I'm kind of stupid for getting them mixed up, but I actually grabbed the new one first and tried to put it on this guy. But anyway, so something that is pretty different is the weapons that came with the G1 are pretty dissimilar. Although they're really cool. I still love these guys. So those are the weapons that come with the original G1, but for this guy, you just... So we had these handles out before. You fold the handles down. You can put it in 2 different places. You can either put it up here, on both sides, like that, and then you can put the gun here. And I think I might prefer this mode. Let's just put them side by side just so you can see quick. But you can also, I've seen some people tab it in down here. It's not bad. It makes it kind of wide. I mean, what I really like, I kind of just like him. I kind of just like him without anything. I just really like this mode. I love the clear plastic. I know I need to be careful with that because it's clear plastic, and there's clear plastic can snap easier, but anyway, big fan of him. So let's bring the camera up, and I'm going to transform him into his arm mode. And we're going to start by untabbing where this went over the arm. So let's just bring the arm down. Same thing here, and bring the arm down. Let's bring... You know what, actually, this can kind of stay here, I believe. Actually, no. Let's just leave that here for now, because we're going to have to... Let's work on the legs first, get them out of the way. So, I'm going to show you the trick. If you can't get your... So this... Alright, I think it's just getting looser, or I'm just learning not to push it in too hard. If that doesn't work for you, and you just cannot get that loose, try this. First, untab these side rocket things, and fold these up. Like that. And you can get a bit of a better grip with your fingernail here. You might need a screwdriver or something if it's too tight. But that's what I did to get that loose. So now that it's loose, this will unfold. And let's just get the same scary part over with. This is just as scary doing it the other way. We lift this up. We leave the windows where they were though. Lift this up, and we're going to continue to push this up through the top. And now at one point, this will kind of turn. That'll help you bring it over. You want to turn it until this is just a little bit forward like that. Push this down, if you can see what I'm pushing down. And you want to be able to bring this down. Now it can't close, so we need to, okay, and I'm going to suggest don't try turning it with just this. It could snap. It seems like good strong plastic, but give some help by pushing under as well. That might be forward far enough to close it now. It is. So once we close that, we want to just bring this up a little bit, and that will fold over that lip. Like so. So let's just do the same thing on the other side. I think this is where, no, this is not the part where I'm the most scared something will snap. So push it on, watch it actually happen this time, ironically. So push this from the bottom. As soon as you can, grab this to help. Push it the rest of the way. Push it so that's a little bit farther than it seems to like it might need to be. So this will have clearance to close. Close that. I'm sorry, I never bring this close enough because I feel like it's going to be out of focus. Then close this, and that's not quite, it's not going to quite have the clearance it needs to close. So again, pushing from under here and here. I keep hoping I'm just doing this wrong, because this just seems really kind of scary, but I've seen other people saying the same thing, that this part of the transformation is just too tight. So that'll close now. And then we just push that over the lip as well. So that's how you want that. Yeah, this is definitely getting looser. I might need to put some floor polish on it. So let's close these up again. Snap those together. Come on. There we go. Now, let's work on his upper body. So what we want to do, let's bring, now that the legs are kind of more out of the way, let's bring this all the way around. It's basically going to go back to where he was in robot mode. Goes up to about there, and then swing these straight down. We want to bring this down just enough so we can start working on up here. So we'll get back to that. So we're going to bring this back, and there's his head, peekaboo. Get a grip underneath of here, see where my thumbnail is. Pull that up. Yeah, okay, there's just a bunch of parts that are hard. You're probably going to need a tool for this part. I have a good strong thumbnail, so there's a little tab here that you can push and try to get it, maybe push even some more, and try to get a grip on this. It's not coming out enough. There. That might be enough. No, not yet. I should just suck it up and get a screwdriver to do this. There. Got it. Don't be stubborn like me. Just get a screwdriver or something and just be careful. This is where he's going to connect to the torso. So this part's kind of scary, another scary part. There's a part back here that rotates. So grab it by here and rotate it. Only rotate it about that far, because what I want you to do is you might need to turn his head just a little bit just to give some clearance to rotate the rest of the way around. And then you want his head facing us, and then we push it down into here. If you have his head facing the other way, his head won't lean back enough to push it down into that opening. Then we just close this over it. Then we bring the wheel back up and close this down over it again, like before. Now we go to the back. Now we just simply push this back up where it was and tab it in. Move the arms down so you can see. So we tab it in there. And we have these wheels, maybe they can go up a little bit more. Probably until they hit this thing, you can move them up. Let's take his arms now. There's these posts here. They can go into this hole. They just go back and you push that in like that. Same for the other side. There. So next thing we want to do is actually, we're going to just grab him here and up here and just pull. Oh. Huh. Oh, I never closed that all the way before when he was in combined mode. Anyway, pull. And this is going to reveal his elbow and his bicep swivel joint. So if you don't do that, he's not going to have enough room to bend over here. So we're going to bend these, and we want to do this, bend them at that joint there, see? Similar to how we did it before. And we're doing that because we want these thighs to go inside. These thighs are going to go inside of here. Not really all the way in. I don't think that they will be. Oh, also let's push this in while we're doing this. Now you see the two tabs at the end of what used to be his heels, I think. Those go into these slots here and here. So let's show you it from the side. So we gotta bring this forward a little bit, and that'll tab in. It might be a little tight the first time you do it, but mine go in pretty easily now. Same for the other side. Yeah, they go in much easier. So in one way, it's better that this starts getting looser, but in another way, it's bad. So now we bring these around and tab them into the slot that's in his leg there. Like that. Turn him this way. Now this is the hand that comes with him. It's a very nice, very articulated hand. Lots of joints on him. I still don't know where it goes when it's not being a hand. All the other parts seem to have something, even if it's like a crappy looking turret, at least they try to make it look like a turret or something. This I can't find anything for yet. But anyway, this here slots over this here. So you just simply, and this slots through that. So this goes on pretty very, very securely, and it's very easy to put on. So there, that's how the forearm should look. In fact, the whole thing could go on like this. If you're worried about what I'm about to show you, you really could just have the arm like this. It just won't bend. It'll bend this way, but it's just, this is, and it'll also do this. It can turn this way as well. It's just that you're gonna miss this bend, and this is why it makes me nervous. Let's move these wheels up and out of the way. You're basically, so you can see that there's like a little seam right here. That's where it swivels. And it's such, you can hear it squeaking. It's, you see me turning it? It's such a tight connection that it's taking a lot of my strength to do that. I finally got it. There it is. I'm just so scared it's going to snap. That's that, and the feet. This guy in general just has the biggest issues with tightness and not really clearances, but yeah, just tightnesses and me being scared it's going to break. So again, I'm going to get that oil, and I'm going to, for the first time, make a joint looser. Usually I have to make joints tighter with my figures, but so let's move these wheels back down, and then we have his arm. And let's swivel this back this way now. So now his arm will bend at the correct spot. Now you might want to move these wheels up even more, or move them out just a little bit so his arm can bend easier. It doesn't look quite as cool, unfortunately, but and you might not even need to bend his arm that much. But anyway, there it is. Let's also grab the rifle that he will be using. And the rifle comes with scattershot, which is also in this set. There's a tab right here that goes into that slot. Easy peasy. And it's pretty darn secure too. Fold his fingers over it. There you go. He's got his weapon. So those are the two arms. Comparison of the two arms. Could even put the arm on Mr. Scattershot. There we go. And I fortunately have this guy in combined mode already, so I can just show you real quick how easily this slots in. That's the place you put the connection. It's right in. And there he is. That's pretty cool. I mean, heck, we even have the leg here. So I did this with Scattershot. Might as well do it now. And this is really cool how this connection works. When you turn his knee, the part where it connects actually comes out as you turn it. So that's neat. So you can just put, this is the connection that goes into it. There we go. So that's how he looks. And it's really cool. He actually can stand up with only the one leg. And I think he just looks kind of amazing. That's how they look together so far. I can't wait for the other two figures. Lightspeed and Strafe. I don't know when they're going to come out. Probably maybe another 8 months. Who knows? But that's pretty cool. And let's transform him back from his arm mode to his motorcycle mode. Now, when you put this back, you want to make sure it snaps like that when you close the bicep. So let's take the gun out of his hand. There we go. Let's slide this out. Let's take these off. These actually tab in very securely. And we're going to, let's pull the wheels up. We're going to untab these bits here where they went in. Were his heels, I think. And then we can just unfold everything. Let's untab the legs. And now it's time for the scary part again. We're going to lift this up. And now we're going to push this up and we're going to push it like that. Oh gosh. Until it looks like this. And it just bothers me that like this will start warping like the whole leg and bending, and I'm crying inside, afraid it will break. Let's do it on the other side. Push this up. Just start pushing it in there. Ah, that one was pretty easy. And close this again. There we go. And then we can just tab the legs together. And this tabs up here. And this tabs up here. Then let's move these down a little bit. Untab the arms, like so. Bring this back and push this up. Now we're going to lift this up, pull his head out, and then we need to do that somewhat precarious rotation again, and you might need to turn his head to do it safely. There we go. It's getting easier every time I do it. It's probably going to feel kind of scary the first time you do it, though. So there we go. Then we want to push this back in. And we can just move him down. Tab that into his chest. Since we're going into motorcycle mode, bring that up and close this over. Then back here, straighten the arms out. Back here, this bottom tab goes in, or slot goes into that tab. On both sides we do that. Let me move the arm so it's easier to see. Move it up to about here and tab that in, like so. And you want to keep this window up. It'll probably flop down, so eventually you want to keep it up there. Let's just move the arms up front for now, just to keep them out of the way. Now we have the legs ready. We're going to bend them. Remember, we want to make sure it's bending or rotating here on this hinge, not this hinge. I believe that makes it. I believe that makes it much easier for it to go into the place that it should be in. You know what? Let's move these wheels all the way down to about there, because we're going to need them there, and then we got to push this back up and tab it back in to where it was. There, tabbed in. Now we're going to bend the legs and bring them in so that when it comes in, we want it to... Oh, I know what's wrong. This didn't feel right. Crap. We got to do the part I hate. I still haven't collapsed the swivel joint, so we're going to need to do... Okay, so if you want to know which way to turn it, you see the hinge there where this is an elbow and it bends? His chest is more open under here. Here it's like flush. Here it's got an opening. That's where that pushes in. So that's how you know you want to turn it. Oh, that's making me so nervous. All right, I need this stuff out of the way. I want to be able to... I need this really out of the way. I really want to be able to hold this very securely with my hands. If you just leave it for this plastic, I'm scared something's going to crack. So hold it here and here so that when you turn it, it's getting support. And that's a really tight turn again. I know I keep harping on that, but I really don't want you guys to break your toys. So I want to just make sure you know how careful you need to be. Now that that's there, this will snap closed. There we go. So now we did the bicep turn, now we can turn this part and turn that all the way around so that when this bends up, it's bending up to the right place. You know what? I think I might be wrong, actually. It might hinge on both of them. The thing you really want to try to do to help you find the right spot, this tab, I don't know if it completely goes in that slot, but pretend that you want it to go into... Yeah, see, you know what? We actually... I'm a professional. We want it to hinge on there, I think, or maybe on both of them. Basically, keep messing with it until you see that tab, see that? It's reaching that spot. And when it's doing that, this will sit flush across the top here, at least as close to flush as possible. See what I mean? Right here. So now that that's happened, we can close the window. Oh, I gotta push the legs together again. They weren't pushed together with all that work we're doing. Push that in. Again, I suggest trying to not do it all the way because this is very, very, very tight fit. So now we just move this all the way back like that. Move the arms back. And we have this tab in the little slot that's on the inside of the wheel here. So this goes over that and it tabs into there. It's, no, there we can see it. Yeah, that's where it tabs in, if you can see right there. And we'll just do the same thing on the other side. Close that, bring this over. Oops. There. I felt like it did at that time. Yep, did it on that side as well. So we have our motorcycle again, and you can put whatever accessories you want to on it. You can put on these. You can put on his... Oh, that's the wrong gun again. That's the G1 gun. Or you can put on this. And now we will go back to robot mode. So let's just simply untab this again and pull the arms down and back up to here. We might need to move them around a little bit as we transform him. Just whatever we need out of the way of what. Now let's see if I can just untab this the way it is. Yep, that came undone. Good. Then unfold the legs like so. And I'm going to bring these back a little bit. And then we can untab these guys. And then, oh, let's turn them over. Let's lift this up. And we want to keep pushing this. Oh, this is maybe the hardest part. Okay, pull this out. That will help you turn this. I really wish you didn't have to rely on just this to push, but you do. It's actually maybe one of the easiest places to have to pull his feet out. Now, turn it that way so that we can unhinge the window and then bring it in like that. And we want to swivel the foot out so it gives clearance for this to come down. Come down like that. Then we can swivel his foot back in. And let's just do the same for the other side. Open this up. Up all the way, please. Thank you. Yeah, pull this out and just turn it. It's getting a little looser. It's getting a little easier every time I use it. Pull that out. We're going to take the window and unhinge it and bring it around and then bring it down. Down like that. And then we swivel the foot back in. So that's the legs almost done. Last thing we want to do is just bring this back on that double hinge and tab it into the back of his leg. That's what you tab it into. And there's the tab there, and that's the slot. So you just bring it back on a double hinge and do that. So his legs are done. We want to untab this so we can bring it up. So we had it up higher here. That tabs in very securely. But now, when we bring it back, it goes about there. And it doesn't really tab in. But then when you bring the wheel back, it kind of locks into there so that it will keep this here. This cannot be tabbed up higher, or else the wheel will not fit where it needs to fit. So we do that. We close this. Let's bring these arms up and then down like that. Same with this side. Bring this down. Get close to the camera. Push this under. And then the last thing we need to do is just pull his arms out. We want to open this panel and pull out his arm, his fist. And same for the other side. Pull out that, pull out his fist. Close the panel. There is Afterburner, or as Craftsman Toy calls him, Burst Gallop. He's just really cool. I also love the fact he has clear plastic for his goggles. That's just really neat. And once again, you can get his weapons out, arm him up, however you like. Oh, you know what would be cool? I wonder how it looks. Oh, gosh, that's hard. Come on. Oh, that's a little too tight. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's just put him in this way. Excuse me. And there we go. There he is. He's just really, really cool. I'm a big fan. I am not a big fan of how tight the joints are. Also not a fan that he is a bit back heavy, so I kind of need his legs like that for him to stay standing up. But I do really like him. I do recommend you get some shock oil to loosen some of this stuff up. So anyway, so thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and say hello to me in the comments section and let me know what your... I already asked what your favorite combiner is. So, okay, this is a reach. Grimlock actually, believe it or not, created the Technobots. So, do you prefer Grimlock being dumb like in the cartoon, or do you like him a little bit smarter? Let me know. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. So what you want to do from the beginning, here's his foot, pull this shin part up, pull this out, and just so the light catches it, you can see the screw right there. So let's just unscrew it a little. That might even be too much. I just don't want it to be sticking out so you can see it. Let's see how that does. So we want to rotate this in. See, it's still really loud, but I don't care if it's loud as long as it transforms. Oh, that's already better. And I think that's just the right amount of unscrewing it, because I just don't want that screw sticking out so that it's unsightly. Okay, so that's how you fix that. So this is shock oil here. I was looking it up, and it's to loosen things, but you really only need a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. I've never done this before, so I'm not going to put it on the feet. Again, I don't want him to get too floppy, but when you turn him into combine mode, this is like his elbow joint. This part here, that's his elbow when he's transformed. But also, well, this turns down here, but there, if you look real quick, see that seam? That seam right there also turns. I want you to be able to see it in the light. It turns like that, and it's very tight. Although it's getting a little bit better the more I play with him, but I don't know. I would like to put some shock oil in there. My fear is, I have read some people online, it almost made it so loose that he doesn't hold the gun anymore. So here, you're going to experience with me for the first time putting shock oil on. I have watched some other people do it. Here, let me get the camera a little closer. So I think you can see the seam right there, right? Yeah, there it is. That's the seam I want to put the shock oil in. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, that's a good spot. Now, what they say to do, you want to take, oh, there it is. You want to take a toothpick, and you want to take the shock oil. Here, let's zoom up just a little bit here. You want to unscrew this, and this will be great comedy if I put too much on. It'll be tragedy for me, comedy for you guys. So I can at least make you have some entertainment at my loss. Because if you put too much on, it's going to become a floppy mess very easily. I'm just going to put the toothpick right into here. I'm already afraid that just that little drop, see that little drop hanging there? I'm almost afraid that might be too much. So there's a tiny, oh no! And I just spilled it all. Oh my goodness. Yep, there's your comedy. Oh my gosh. All right, hold on. Is this real or just a dream? Rise up like the sun. Labor till the work is done. Take two. Yeah, I'm still gonna try it. All right, note. Be really careful with your bottle of shock oil. Hold it firmly. It was funny, the video I was watching was talking about how this will last you forever. Not me, apparently. I just don't know how much to take. All right, they said less than you think you need. Okay, we're gonna put the bottle way over here. Crap. And now I dropped the toothpick. I hope this isn't a mistake. But we're just gonna put the tiniest drop there, and I can already see it seeping in. And they said to turn it so it can kind of work its way in. Oh, I am really bad with the camera today. Yeah, I feel like that didn't make any difference, to be honest. So, okay, just the same amount again. Let's just do the same amount again. It's not really a tiny bit, but oh well. Considering how little it seemed to do anything. There. Oh, I could do so much better about there. I feel it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna wipe off the rest. I don't want it to be too much. Do I have paper towel left from my? Really, I do. I'm just gonna dab the rest of this off because I'm really concerned. Might have put too much on now. I can totally see why they said to just take it one step at a time. Yeah, that's maybe perfect. That's maybe the perfect amount. So now, yeah, he's much easier to turn. I believe that when he's in combine mode, this is still going to be easily enough to hold up the gun. In fact, we can test that. Yeah. Yeah, putting that shock oil has not affected this part at all, but I'm not surprised because this really doesn't, that bicep hinge that I lubricated doesn't really have much to do with him holding the gun up. So yeah, it's nice and stable, but I do feel like it's still somewhat tight, but it's much more manageable now. I don't want to lubricate it until it's not squeaking anymore, because I fear that will make it just entirely too loose and floppy, and then I'll regret that. So anyway, that's how you can fix this guy so that this is just a lot less stressful. And I will also say that the feet, now that I unscrewed them, doing this transformation was so much easier as well. So I hope that helps you guys, and enjoy your Transformers. I'll talk to you later. Bye.